Hey traders, my name is Anna and I'm head coach at Leveraged. And today with me, I have Amin, and together we are going to have a really good discussion today about traders' mindset. And we are going to learn how to think like professional traders, or if you don't like to use the word professional, because sometimes I don't myself, you can just say profitable traders. But yeah, thank you for joining in for those who are joining in. Hey, Amin, how was your weekend?
Hello everyone. So I was nicely focused on the cryptos this weekend. I wanted to
Ooh,
check some setups. So it was doing a nice bounce up and down. So it was
yeah.
good catch on the for the one trading the range.
So did you trade Bitcoin? Because the Bitcoin had quite did it sell off and then did it recover? How far
So
away we are in Bitcoin?
uh, the good setup to trade was Bitcoin and Solana, mostly Solana.
Okay.
It was a nice ping pong follow up on key levels,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I needed to be there on the weekend. But
Mm,
yeah, it was
yeah.
just extra. We have opportunity that we didn't have before, because before it was full break during the weekend. Now when you have free time, you may try to see if you can get some trades on the
Mm-hmm.
weekend.
Yeah. For those who don't want to spend the weekend off, you can keep on trading Bitcoin. And I think currently we offer 7 cryptocurrencies to trade, because
Yes.
here at Leveraged, we have weekends open for the crypto so you can trade them, which is exciting. But I think traders also need the time off, right?
Yeah, this is why
It's
I
like,
said very you have free time, and maybe you missed some trades during the week and you
yeah.
didn't get time to trade. You may get on track on the weekend.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyhow, today we are going to talk about our mindset, um, and strategy or mindset. What's more important? I think this is like a debate for traders, and I've seen so many debate it, and I've seen there will be probably for those who are trading like algorithmic trading, for those who are using bots. Obviously, I do want to say that the mindset is not going to be that important. I mean, do you agree?
For the ones using bots, there is no mindset.
Yeah, right. So, and it's just like, I really don't want like traders to come at us and say, no, no, no mindset needed. This is just pure numbers, this and this and that. So I think it's just really important to understand, like, if you're using the strategy where you need to react to the market, where you're using a risk management, where you are making a decision based on what market is doing. So you're reacting to the price action. Definitely mindset is going to be a huge part of it. But if you're someone who is using like bot trading, for someone who's using or has created like your own bot, and it's just purely trading like maybe patterns, maybe doing the numbers, right? So then it's obviously no mindset really like needed in there, because you're just looking at the poor performance of your bot, let's say. But if you're someone who's actually reacting to the market, it is really important. And we can start to talk about the first point, which is why 90% of trading success is actually psychology. But this is obviously, again, if you do trade your own strategy, and where you're actively involved in the market and you're actively opening trades, closing trades, and just reading the price action. So I mean, I do agree with that, that if you do react to the market, then your mindset has to be rock solid hard. And and you need to know exactly what it is that you're looking for, how you can control your emotions. So, and we'll touch about that later on. um but I think it's really important to like have this discussion and talk about why really it is like that, why trading psychology is so important. And I think the best way to share is from experience. And I've been trading for a while. So does Amin, and also Amin is doing live trading here at Leverage Discord community. So guys, if you're not in, please join the Discord. And I think this is just let's say, let's talk through, like what would be your checkpoints when you start to trade, just to really show the traders an example that mindset truly is something that is so important when you're trading. So yeah, I'm just curious, what would be your steps when you start to trade?
So I like to be focused without
Mm-hmm.
anything that can disturb my focus, because the more we are on the lower time frames, the
Mm-hmm.
more focus we need and relaxed. If I'm stressful or too much pressure, etc., I
Yep.
will make a mess. So it's best to be because you're gonna perform. So you did the training during the back testing, and now it's time for the match. So you have to be on point without anything that may make you mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to try to isolate yourself during this lapse of time to be fully focused and avoid distractions.
Yeah, that's true. That's, I guess, like one of the things for myself when I am actively trading. I actually have a whole process that I do, and I think it's important to be prepared. So to have that solid mindset, you actually also need to understand how the market is working. So that's why I think sometimes there's going to be times where your mindset will like blur in with the chart. So what I mean with that is when you want to trade well and when you want to be focused, you actually need to know what's going on in the market. So you need to make sure that you're doing your top-down analysis, that you know what's going on in the charts, that you know first of all your trading plan. So I think very often will be at times where traders are just really trying to figure out how that mindset connects to the trading strategy, because just because we say mindset is 90% success, so that's like psychology, right? So the mindset, the way we think, the way we control our emotions, is going to play a big role in our trading. But I think it's important to understand exactly how, because just you say, oh, I need to be focused, I need to do this and this. It's like we need to understand how is that going to help us and why it is so important. Because anytime like someone, let's say from one-on-one coaching sessions, and I'm like, you need to know your trading plan and you need to know it from the top to the bottom. And if I wake you up in the middle of the night and I ask you, how do you enter the trade, like you need to know it. And I think that's also part on your mindset, is that when you know well what you're doing in charts. For example, I can show you a little example here. um like when I go in a charts, I just don't randomly, oh, okay, I'm gonna whatever buy this now. Like it doesn't happen that way, right? So
No, we
me
need a plan.
preparing, right, me preparing my mindset is actually, I know what I am going to do. So I am going to go on higher time frame, I'm going to do my analysis, I'm going to check my daily, I'm going to then drop on 4 hours to see where are the zones that I want to trade from. Then I'm going to look at 15 minutes and I'm going to see what is it exactly I want to do. And by the way, look at that from Friday. This is my little drawing here. It did exactly what I wanted to do. Can you
Yeah,
see that?
it was good.
It was, wasn't it? It was really good. But I think, again, it's just you need to be prepared here on the charts so you can be also prepared here in your mind. And then it's going to be
True.
so much easier to trade and also train your mindset. And then you will understand that why is it so important to be prepared for the market, to be prepared on your charts, and then you're also going to be prepared um on your in your mind, basically. um And I think it's just one of those things that traders needs to do. We just need to understand what is it that we're looking for. If you want to buy this trade, then you need to understand, like there's this support area. It really looks good. If the candle closes bullish, I'm going to enter because that's what my trading plan says. And then you feel confident about it because you're following the plan. You're not having any emotions of like any fears, any greed. You're just waiting on your trading plan. You know exactly what you're going to risk. Let's say 0.5% or whatever. Like you just put your risk here and you wait for the trade. And it's simple and it's not complicated. And that way it's just trading is really so much more simple. I don't want to
Yeah.
say not complicated because I think trading is complicated, but it's so much more simple when you know exactly what you're doing and then your charts align with your what's in here in your head, in your mind, and it just becomes trading so much easier, so much
Yeah, you need
easier.
a plan. You need a plan.
For
Otherwise,
sure.
it's chaos, and you will not know what you are doing. You will go in the
Mhm.
market and, yeah, I would like to buy this, but I feel I should sell this. It's a total
Mm.
mess. You need
Mhm.
to stick to the plan you made, and like this, you have very precise actions and vision of what you are doing, and without any trying to be distracted by the market this time.
Mhm. Yeah. I like what you said, feeling. I always say that feeling is a really bad word to use while we are trading because we should not trade what we feel inside of us. So, not our emotions. And our emotions can be excitement, greed, fear, so many of emotions, anger, anxiety, joy, excitement. There's so many emotions in there, but what we should trade is what we see with our eyes on the charts. That's what we should be trading and not relying on hope or, emotional of like, oh, I feel that price is going to go up. Like from where this feeling is coming from, where do you get the confirmation that you feel that price is going to go up or the price is going to go down, right? So that's purely emotional trading. And we know that with emotional trading, there is a long way to success if you're only trading with emotions. I mean, um, I have done that. I think all the trader like do you remember the time when you really purely traded emotions?
Yeah,
I
it was.
do.
I lost everything.
I lost everything. Oh,
Like it wasn't matching what I wanted. It was a total mess. I was thinking. I wasn't thinking. I was feeling.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can relate. I remember, like I said, just purely trading emotion. And but at the same time, I think traders just need to go through it. Like trading emotion is just part of the journey, part of experience, because you actually need to experience something to be able to say, hey, I want to do this again, or hey, I don't want to do this anymore. So I think it's um it's just really really important to go through these things. And I think the best way also how we learn, even to learn to understand what's the difference between trading with emotions and trading without the emotion, like trading the plan. I think we actually have to walk both paths, right? So you need to trade with all the emotions and you need to trade the plan, and then you'll be able to say, hey, I don't want to trade this way, I want to trade this way. um, and Boris is saying, you also need to know your win rate. So when you get a loss, you know that your plan has gone astray. Yeah, I mean, I agree, right? Yeah, I agree. We do need to know the numbers. And I don't want to sound like a broken record here. Guys, I always say that in all the webinars or all the streams that we're doing, that we need to know the data. We need to have the data as traders because that obviously is going to tell us. And data is not emotion. Data is that a solid, like a evidence, right? That something is working. But when you just trade your gut feeling, when you trade your emotions, there cannot be really an evidence, right? So I think that's why it is really, really important to know your data. And I'm sure Amin can agree with that, right?
Yeah, without it, you should not trade.
I
That's
know.
it. It's that simple. If you don't have any solid data, you should not make real trading. You
Hmm.
can try to do for simulation, etc., or some tests, but it should not be your real trades.
Hmm. I agree. You should not be trading if you don't know your data. And I think this is what you said you're doing now also in the Discord, that you're testing, doing like a trial and test to see what
Yes,
is working, what is not, right? And it's just part of the journey, I guess. And it's just like knowing the numbers, knowing the data. Um, yeah. Okay. So emotional decisions equals failure. Um,
totally.
totally, right? And this is what you said when you like lost everything, and that lost everything was because it was based on emotional decisions. And I can relate to that, and I'm sure many traders will be relating to that. um but emotional decisions are never good decisions when it comes to trading. It's sometimes in life we can make decisions, right, when we're all emotional, and even then we should not be making like big decisions when emotions are high. And I actually don't like word failure. I really don't, because it's like a negative word, and I'm
Yeah,
trying
it's
to.
like a definitive failure, so I don't like it too. Failure is
Yeah,
too big.
yeah, failure is really not the word to use, but I think it's important to really understand. And why I first of
Should
all
make
always want to.
mistakes emotionally, yeah, replaced by
Yeah,
mistakes.
because you learn from mistakes, right? But I think why it's important also to talk about these things in trading, and not just like bring you guys like these live trading rooms and all exciting things. I think it's important to have the discussion like this and just really put out an honest opinion coming from experience, is just so you have more awareness of what is really trading. And again, it's good that sometimes we will have traders who won't agree with us, especially now who someone is trading the bots. I bet they will be screaming at us and saying like, no, mindset doesn't matter, it's all about strategy, it's all about numbers, and that's what I said in the beginning, like it's okay if you think otherwise, we can agree to disagree. But I really think it's important to speak about these things, and to remind our traders that trading is not emotional, should not be emotional, because once you start to trade your emotions, you are going away from your plan, from your risk management approach, from your trading plan. And emotional decision making does lead to that F word, which is not the bad word. I'm just like saying the F
You
word
can
is
just put
really bad.
loss of money. It's clear like
Mm.
this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can say, if you don't want to lose the money, don't trade with emotions. Just trade your
Exactly.
plan, right? And again, I think it's also simple. It sounds so simple, and I always say this, that people relate to people. And I remember myself, like in the beginning of the journey, so many said to me as well that you need to trade your plan. If you trade your emotions, you will fail, you will lose everything, and you will never get somewhere further in your trading. And the thing is, I never related, like, until I have not been through it. And then I went through all my emotions. I went through all my failures. I did all the mistakes. I learned from mistakes. Sometimes I didn't learn from mistakes. Um, but I think people relate to people. And then I remember having a specific conversation with one of my mentors. At that time, I really looked up to her. And when she said it to me, then it just clicked to me. And I was like, that's true. I've been trading my emotions. I really have been trading my emotions and not following my plan. And my emotions overtook me so much that the strategy was just, you know, I was too focused on strategy basically, but I didn't realize that I was using my emotions way too much. And what I'm trying to say is maybe you are in the same boat. Maybe like deep down you know that you're trading your emotions, but you've never admitted that. So listen to me and Amin when we tell you this now, that you cannot trade with your emotions. Like you really need to put your plan first, and you really need to have that solid mindset where you know first of all how to control them, and we will guide you through what you can do. There are so many things actually that you can do to control your
Yeah, there is
emotions,
many options.
um, right? um, and um, and we can talk about it. We can talk through about how we can help ourselves. But I just really hope that you listen. If you're someone struggling with emotions, just listen and don't do the same things again and again, because at some point you need to break the loop. Because if you're stuck in this loop and you're always thinking what you're not thinking, trading what you're feeling instead of what the charts are telling you, um, you will struggle to get out of that loop. So you need to cut it. And maybe cutting the loop is me telling you you need to stop. And it's like an eye-opening thing. I remember for myself, that was a big thing. It was like, can't believe I wasted all this time. And I never, yeah, that was a big moment for me. I really, really remember that. Um, yeah. At that time, I was still trading GJ. that was that was a long time ago, but yeah, that was me realizing that it is really important what's inside in our heads, what kind of bugs live in our heads, you know?
As you said, you need to experience that. It's just like the having books to teach you how to swim. It's not
Mm,
enough. You need to be in the water because you can read
yeah,
all the books about how you can swim. You need to experiment directly in the water, but just you have to remember what you have been learning and choose the right environments. Okay, just don't go directly swimming in the ocean.
mhm,
You be in a
yeah,
safe place. This is why it's good to start by backtesting and then trading on a simulation and then
mhm,
trading with a small amount and then finally bigger account. But all this need patience. So if you don't have it, you will miss the good step of progress and
mhm,
you will learn it by losing
yeah,
money.
yeah. That's really good. It's a really good example that we need to start safe, and I guess that really is the truth. Um, yeah, definitely making mistakes on smaller amounts is better than on bigger accounts. And I guess I've seen different examples, let's say, where traders luckily get passing accounts, even have a couple of payouts, and then the luck runs out. Emotions get the best of them, and then you're stuck. So I think it's really important to catch it early. If you do the work early, then it's going to be so much easier to get out of that loop, and you will realize that emotional trading is really damaging you as a trader. um, so yeah, talking about how to shift that mindset, right? We need to learn how to shift that. I love this first point in here, thinking probabilities, not certainties. um, and I always say that trade, I think the reason why I love trading so much, because it's a it is like everything is in probabilities. Like you, or it's like when you go on a losing streak, you know that winning trade is coming. And it's like, I sometimes even end up this thinking where it's okay. Two losing trades, it's okay. I'm closer to being to a winning trade. Three losing trades, it's okay. I'm yet closer to be to a winning trade. It's like four losing trades, okay. I'm even now closer to being to my winning trade. But obviously, going through that losing streak is
Not easy.
draining. It's not easy. And we go through different struggles through that. But if we keep this thing in our heads that, and again, if you know your data, if you really understand your data, it's going to be so much easier. And because when you know if I go through 4 losing streaks, and that's like my average like losing streak, you know that you're so much closer to the winning trade, and it's going to be easy for you to execute the trade. You're not going to overthink, you're not going to cut your risk or anything like that. It's just going to be easier. But if you don't know your data, then it's kind of, it's not certain anymore, right? You're questioning a lot, you're struggling, and there are a lot of emotions involved. And again, I'm saying this from my experience. I know how it is going on the losing streak. Even though we know our probabilities based on the data, it's
We
not
don't like
easy.
it.
Right? It's not easy.
No one
Um,
likes to have 3, 4 losing trades in a row.
I know. I know. And I've been to a big number of losing trades in a row. And for sure it's not nice. And it doesn't matter how many years you've traded, 2, 1, 5, 10. We're still emotional beings. Um, and that's also like one thing I really wanted to point out is that no matter how much experience you have, no matter how rock solid hard your thinking is, your mindset is, you're still a human. You still, and if you're living, if you can feel, if you can breathe, if you can taste, right? You're still having emotions and you will go through some kind of emotion. But definitely it's going to be more controlled with experience. But I'm just saying it doesn't matter how long you've been trading, emotion is always going to be there, but it's just going to get easier to control it with the time. um, and that also makes me think about the second point here: focus on process, not on profits. I mean, what do you have to say about it?
Yeah, this is where there's a difference between the ones who will lose a lot of money and the others who will be profitable even faster than others who will skip the process,
Hmm.
because you'll need the learning process and steps. Just as I said before, start by backtesting, using simulation account, small amount, finally a bigger account. All these take times, and it's a process, and most people start directly after the backtesting the bigger account.
Hmm. Yeah, focus on process, not on profits. And I think the key word here is the process, because process is something that will tell you who you are as a trader, your process of preparing. So do you do your analysis, top-down analysis, or do you prepare by journaling? Do you prepare? How do you get your mindset ready to start your trading day? So that process is the most important thing. And and it's good to have a goal. I'm all about setting goals. I'm all about focusing on your why. But if you're not focused on the process and you're only focusing on what's in future, it is going to affect your mind. It is going to affect your mind big time, because what if you go through the process that's actually losing streak? What if you go through the process where the market is shifting and your strategy is not working? And just because you're focused on your why, on your goal, on your profits, it's going to make your journey way harder, way harder. And again, comes from the experience. I've been there, I've done that. And I know when I started, all I was focusing off was that trading is going to give me time freedom. And then very quickly I realized it's not going to be really the case, because trading is going to take me a lot of time to figure out. So the process, I needed to focus on process. And so many skip that. So many skip the process and just focus on money, because again, I'm all about setting goals. I'm all about reviewing the goals. I'm all about having that why in your life. But with that, it's just not enough. You need to focus on your process as a trader, and that involves having a trading plan, risk management, following those, making sure that you are adapting to the market if there is some shift going on. And it's just constant process that you need to be involved in to keep that focus on your goals, on your on your why you're trading, why you want to achieve the all the money targets and all that. Um, but yeah, for sure, process is something that we cannot take lightly as traders, and we really do need to focus staying disciplined, following the plan, because that's part of the process, right? Um, yeah, for sure. And the last one is detach emotions from trading process. I think this is the hardest part, at least for me, for sure. I don't know how about you, but for me,
Same,
yeah.
same probabilities. It's all part of your backtesting and analyze of data. It will make you stronger on what you have prepared and your strategy and your plan. That you know that,
Mhm,
yeah, I know in my strategy I will get 5 loss in a row. I have to accept it, and it's all good. Focus on the process.
mhm,
Same. You have a goal, and then you need step-by-step plan to go to this goal, because
mhm,
having the goal without any proper process and a plan, you will not get to the goal. And yeah, you can adjust the plan, the process to get to the goal. There is not only one tract and only one truth. You can get many kind of path to get to this goal. This is
mhm.
the process part, but the most difficult is truly to detach your
Detach.
emotions from the trading
Mhm,
process.
mhm. Yep. Definitely, I agree. So, what would be the things that you did to detach your emotions from that trading process? Like, what is it that you are doing to make sure that you're not letting your emotions overtake your rational mind of like entering trades, applying the risk? So, what is it that you're doing to detach from them?
So this is very good question. So there is many ways I did to progress and still use. Some are being very strict on my trading style. Like
Mm-hmm.
often I was trading only one kind of setup, very clear for me to see. There is no hesitation. You see, so I know that this is it. It's clear. I enter. If I don't have this very clear setup, never I'm gonna enter. It was very clear, like I will just gonna enter on divergence breakout on buy, not even sell. I just look for buying trades. I will filter and limit myself to very specific type of assets to avoid too much attachment.
Mm-hmm.
This is one way. The other way was to reduce the amount of the trades I'm risking to avoid any kind of attachment when I lose or win by fear or revenge or greed. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to be, yeah, you feel nothing. Like you should not see like, yeah, just lost a rent. This is bad. If you already start seeing object or anything during a losing or winning trade, you should change the amount.
Mm-hmm. Okay, really practical steps. Um, for me, actually detaching from emotions is a little bit different because what I'm struggling with, like my biggest emotional involvement in trading is when my ego hurts. And this is
Yeah.
like, I really don't like to admit this, but it's me. I know. I know for sure that I struggle to accept that I was wrong on my analysis and I struggle to accept that I could not read market properly. And, a lot of things actually, how we detach from the emotions is based on, which is really interesting. I went to therapy, and what I quickly learned is that a lot of things come from our childhood. So it's like what happened in your childhood is actually now reflecting in your life as an adult. And for us traders, because we deal with huge emotional load, massive emotional load in trading, everything just comes out from the childhood. It's like these monsters from the childhood is coming out, and you need to deal with that. I am people pleaser and I love people pleasing. It's just part of me who I am and I'm learning, right? But I think that's why I'm also struggling with ego because I really struggle to be wrong. And this is like really raw and real. And I think so many traders don't like to admit that. But trading does really show who you are as a person because we deal, like I said, we deal with tons of emotions. It's like a huge emotional cocktail. And it's not only, like we always say, greed and fear. No, there are so many more emotions. There is, like I said, emotional cocktail. Okay, those two, greed and fear, those are more common, but there's so much more deeper things. And obviously, like Amin said, yes, you can lower the size, you can protect your positions, you can put the break even, you can do like these technical steps. But I think you still need to figure out what's going on inside of you. Like you need to figure out. And I know for me, it's my ego is hurting. It's because I am a people pleaser. It's because I am perfectionist. I love when everything goes just the way I have planned. And when things doesn't go my way, I really, really struggle. And I will always find a way how to blame me. And then I'll be, I didn't read this correctly. I should have seen this. And all these shoulda, coulda, woulda things come out. And I've done a lot of work to figure out, who I am. But like as a person. And that's why I think I really love my trading journey because through trading, I have learned to be like who I am as a person. And I think through trading, I was able to control my emotions better, be a better wife, be a better mom, be a better daughter. I think that all comes like from trading because I have learned tons. But also I have put tons of work in there. I've put tons of work how I can detach from my emotions. But before I detach, I need to know why those emotions exist in a first place so I can detach from them. So I think when it comes to emotions, it's not just like a simple fix of, I'm just going to risk less and everything's going to be good. I really don't think
No,
so.
no,
I
it's
think
deep work inside.
it's deep work, right? It really is. Danny Hendra says, sometime can't control my emotions. Example with one lot in 5K account. Ooh, one lot in 5K account. Obviously, unless you're
Right.
scalping, maybe then it could be, maybe 1% or something. It depends. But if you're going for a swing trade with one lot, good luck. Danny, you need to control your emotions. You need to control your emotions for sure. But I think like
Yes,
these,
step by step progress.
exactly right. But I think these open conversations is what traders need because there's so much information out there that you can get on how to trade, how to build your strategies. Like internet is overloaded. But what's there not enough, I think, are conversations like this, where we talk about the mindset, where we talk with real examples, how it has taken us and the time to realize, the time to work with our emotions. I think these are important parts in trading to help us be better traders because like I said, you can detach from emotion by lowering your lot size, right? By lowering your risk, by doing the, let's say, by doing the simulation, stop risking your own money, get the prop firm account, use it as a test account, especially now because there's such a cheap account available. But to really, really understand, you need to do the deep work. You need to go through it and you need to understand what is going on. Um, and it takes time, you guys. It does. It has taken me a long time. And I'm always ashamed to say, I mean, by the way, how long did it took you to get to profitability? I mean, not like making tons of like not being super profitable, but just like to break through. How long did it take you to get
For
to that possibility?
good question. It was around 3 years.
2 or
3 years.
3?
Three,
3. Oh, wow.
three and a
Okay.
half, and it was a step progress. As you can see, it was first knowing that there is no perfect strategy, then
Mhm.
accept uh, the losses, and in the long run, I know that I will be profitable if I stick to the plan.
Mhm.
Because when you trade, let's take for example a strategy on the market. in certain condition, it's not gonna work because you don't have foolproof strategy for all kind of condition when it's trending or ranging or you see.
Mhm.
So one always a strategy is related to one condition of the market. If I take a trend strategy, trend following or reversal, it will
Mhm.
not work well on other conditions. This is where my trade's gonna be losing. So
Yeah.
I was doing, it was, oh, it's not working. I shift again the
Mhm.
strategy. So it was constant shifting of strategy and trying to adapt to the market. But yeah, it's useless. It's waste of time and money to doing this until I had to accept and stick and yeah, stick to the plan. So when only with one strategy you can get a lot of loss in a row. If you add up other strategies, don't be surprised if you can get easily 10 or more
Mhm.
losing trades
Mm.
because you add up more styles in the same trading. So you have to get ready.
Yeah.
I had needed to pass all this and have deep reflections, like seriously sitting by myself, and I was like, why I didn't follow the plan, what,
Mhm.
why I wasn't, or everything was ready. I just needed to stick to the plan. That's it, and I wasn't able to do it until I had to make progress by progress, little by little. And the most important, there is two aspects. The first is to know who you are, and
Mhm.
then understand what you need to be in order to advance. So
Mhm.
you can first adapt your situation to who you are. For example, take style of trading, strategy, risk management related to your way of doing, thinking, and emotions, and make progress step by step until you get to the level you want to be in all kind of aspects. That's it.
Mm.
Such is
Yeah.
going on fire.
Yeah. I still love what you said. You said that still it's like it's about knowing us, knowing and understanding who we are, right? Yeah, that's a good one. I want to go through some comments here. Rob said previously, I've seen some risk 50 lots on 100K, even 50K accounts. 5 to 10 lots is bad enough. I mean, it really depends. If you're a scalper and if you're
Yes.
using like a 2 pip stop loss, obviously your lot size is going to be huge. If you're risking 1%, maybe 2%, you're a more aggressive trader. So I don't think lot size, is the bad guy in here. It's just like the overview of what's actually happening because the tighter the stop loss, the bigger the lot size, the bigger the stop loss, the tighter the stop loss, the smaller the lot size.
Yeah.
So it's
It all
just like
depends
it
on how
really
much you risk
depends.
per capital.
Yeah. It's how much is your risk. But obviously, I mean, I remember like when I started to trade, I thought one lot is this is it. Like we cannot choose any other lot size. That was like so bad. But obviously I'm talking about when I just started to trade, when I did not know nothing about risk management. I thought one lot is what you can trade and that's it. So it was fun times for sure. And Rob says, I've been through it and it's tough. It for sure it is. Trading journey is not an easy journey. Boris is asking, oh, sorry, I mean, I'm covering your face now.
Oh, it's okay.
Sorry.
Already my Mac covering my face.
Right. Okay. Do you think there is any substitute for time in real markets and how long should it take? How long did it take you? And with the benefit of hindsight, what do you do to speed it up? Oh, so I mean, you took 3.5 years, right? About three and a
It's,
half
yeah,
years to
I
get
was alone. I understood that being alone make it slow.
mm,
When you have someone with you, like a friend, trying to grow together, I sh- I'm sincere. It will be faster and stronger. It will help you to respect also your process. So if
mhm,
you can get a friend, anyone to stick and have trading body, it's life changing.
Mm, yeah, I agree. But I think also important thing here is like, how do you speed it up? I think anyone who starts trading now is going to have a faster journey. I really do. I believe that 100% because trading 10 years ago was way harder than it is now, simply because of there was not so much available information out there. There was not so much education as now. The market is oversaturated actually with education, and there are so many good educators in this space. There are so many bad educators in this space as well, but we're not going to say anything. But I think truly and honestly that you just have to go through it. You have to go through it to learn, because we learn with experience. But I do agree also what Amin says, that if you have community, if you have someone with you on the journey, it's going to be so much easier, because there's accountability. You can keep each other accountable, and it's going to be shorter. But also it depends on the person, because I really don't want to say, hey, trading takes 2 years to be profitable. I know someone who really like learned everything in 6 months, because they just were ego focused, and they were working so hard to get this done. I know someone 3+ years, 4 years, almost 5 years. It just depends on who we are as well. And like I said, it also comes down to your childhood, and then everything is brought up in there, and then you deal with those emotions, you deal with that emotional cocktail when you're trading, when you're trying to detach from those emotions. It's not just like, by okay, I'm going to do this like ABCD. No, it's like you need to dig deep, and you need to understand what on earth is going on. So it's really hard to say how long it's going to take you to reach profitability, or how you can speed it up. But one thing is sure, that you need to put the time and effort. You need to understand that it is a long term, like really truly is a long term. And another thing is that if you do it together, it's so much more fun, okay? And you don't need to struggle alone, because you always have someone to lean on. So that's a really good
This
thing
is
as
why you
well.
have a Discord community. So you're not
Yeah,
alone, just like us before. We didn't have all this.
yeah, exactly. Use our Discord, join in, and be there, and try to take part in the community. This is going to be good. So Rob says, I've spent a few years gambling the markets and lost over 50K. Ah, so much money, and 15K in debt. That's even worse, but profitable now, and going to start buckling my game up and getting back slowly. And this one here, I agree 100%. To anyone, I don't recommend trading when you're in debt. It's harder. 100%. 100%. And I can say that I've always said this. I was just really lucky. For me, I had a husband who supported me and said, hey, Anna, you go full time. Even if you're not profitable trader, if you're not making money, you go full time, and you put your full time into really learning this trading thing and get it done. And I was really, really blessed that way, where I didn't had any pressure. But for those who are trying to make it with a financial pressure, whew, it's a different journey. It's a different journey. And I do agree with Rob. If you are financially not well, right? Financially, you're not stable, then trading is not the best place to be, because trading itself is hard. But when you put that pressure on yourself, which is massive, you don't want to be there. You don't want to do that, because your emotions are going to be way bigger, because all that, you will struggle more with greed, you will struggle more with missing out, with over trading, over risking it. It's all under greed, right? But when you have that financial pressure, it's just really, really bad to get into trading. So try to put it down as much as you can. And I think that's what I also said in the webinar. When you're trying to go from full time to part time and then like trade, just make sure that there's no financial pressure, because once there is, it's so much harder to trade. Hello, you're the best. Thank you. Right. Okay. So another slide to talk about is this one: amateur versus professional mindset shift. Okay. I mean, guide us through it, because you prepared this.
Yes, all good. So this is where we need to shift. So first, as you can see, as I said before, you need to know yourself,
Mhm.
okay? And you need to know where you want to be. And after
Okay.
that, you will only then be able to succeed, because otherwise it will be a big mess.
Mhm.
So we all start as an amateur, okay? Of course, it will be best if we have some professional with us when we start. This is where we are right now. You are lucky. You have a community with a lot of good people to help you advance, and it make the process easier for all amateurs to progress. We just show them the steps to take, and the process and the road and what they need to work on. Then we need just to make the personal work is the hardest, but at least we show them the path. So
Mhm.
when you are starting, you just want, yeah, and it's even worse when you said before, you need a lot of money. You want something sure that it's gonna make you money. Uh, it doesn't work like this. You have to shift your mind and accept there is a risk, and it's all about probabilities. Your strategy will not work all the time. You have to accept when the market is not on the right condition for your trading
Mhm.
style, and it's going to be a lot of losing streaks. So also we want to win, and everyone wants to win, but as I said, it's probabilities you need to think about in the long run. Like if
100%.
I toss a coin right now, I will get maybe 8 times on one side, but if I do it 100 or 500 times, it will get
Mhm.
closer and closer to 50-50. This is
Mm.
how you should think. Not in a short run, but in the long run, because it's not a sprint, it's a marathon trading. So you have to be consistent.
Mhm.
That's it. So when you know yourself, like what is your issues, your bad habits, your trading, your life, how it goes, your time, and you try to get first you have to learn everything you need, and do the process. After that you have to learn yourself, who you are, where are your where the things that triggers you, like is it you don't like when you are wrong, is it you don't like when you lose a certain amount of money, is it many things combined, and from that you have to adjust the trading journey to yourself and toward your goal as to being profitable and better. So if you
Mhm.
don't like losing too much money, you have to reduce the amount until you feel nothing. Like you have to
Mhm.
feel nothing until, yeah, even if it's a trade of $1 or $10, you start like this, and step by step you increase it until yeah, there is no emotion involved in this losing trades or winning trades. Same when you just don't like losing a trade, even if the money is $1, you just don't like it. I don't like the feeling to be wrong. This you have to think about more deeply,
Yeah.
to know how to accept, and like look at your chart that you back tested. You see, yeah, you you have to look it often to see, yeah, in the long run I may get some dips, but it's going up after. So I have to stick to it. And also you can adjust your strategy to a training style more adapt to a higher win rate, even it's smaller profits. It's
Mhm.
because it's matching well your way of trading. It's avoiding you to make mistakes. Some people can make a win rate of 30%, but they have big profits. Others they can't do this trading style. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Couple of things here I want to add on. So I think mindset shift will come naturally anyways. And when I say this is because this is something that I noticed also in my trading journey. The longer we trade, right, the longer I was in my journey, I was learning about strategy. I was learning about markets, about risk management. I was learning all these things that I can take action on and like do them and like improve my trading. But also with that, I learned about me, so about my mindset, right? So what was important for me. And I think what happens actually, mindset shift happens naturally. But if it happens naturally, it's just really slow because it's just like logically thinking, right? When you trade 1% risk, but then you see that your data is not performing well, and then based on your data, not on your emotions, but on your data, you decide to lower your risk. Now, suddenly you will feel that release. You will feel, oh, this is much better. I'm like risking less, and you will start to feel emotionally. You're like, oh, this is much easier. I can really understand this. Like I feel much better now. And I think that shift, like I said, it happens naturally. It just happens because once we adapt our strategy, it's also going to shift better on our mindset. But sometimes that shift is actually not positive. For example, I'll give you a really, really good example here. When I was on the losing streak, what I did, I cut my risk. Okay. And obviously, like all the times, when I cut my risk, the next trade is obviously the biggest winner, the fattest winner, the best trade ever, and I just cut my risk. And that was negatively affecting my head here because what happened there is, yes, I was all excited that I'm going to lose less, but I didn't calculate that I'm going to win less. And the winner came and it really affected me. And then it it did the negative shift happen basically because I was like, I could not accept the that my winner was so small, and I was frustrated, and I got frustrated, and then with that came a little bit silly decision making, silly emotional trading. So mindset shift happens naturally, but sometimes you can get positive or negative shift, and when it's a negative shift, you actually are hurting yourself. So that's why it's so important to be aware of all these things, what says in here, right? So you take these decisions based on strategy wise, how to improve it, how to improve your risk management, but you need to understand that that mindset has to come along. So when you do something, you need to make sure that your mindset is shifting as well, and you're accepting if you cut the law, like if you cut the risk, you're also cutting the winners. And yeah, just making sure that that mindset is always evolving. And I think for that, what we can do as traders, we can make sure that we have those processes set in. So make sure you journal, make sure you spend time for yourself, read a book. There's so many good books, and don't just read them for sake of reading, but actually apply them. I know there are so many traders who will say, I've read 50 books this year, so what? Do you apply those 50 books? Just read, take a few books a year, read them and apply them. And that's going to be so much better for your mindset than reading all this information. Or like I always say, we're like a sponge. This is a sponge. You just pour all the knowledge. And at some point that sponge cannot take any more and it just leaks. And that information just useless if you're not using it. So it's really, really important. If you're that sponge and you're like just watering yourself with all this knowledge, make sure that you actually apply it. Otherwise, your sponge is going to get too full, and it's just going to do nothing for you. I see Barris is asking, what books would you recommend? I mean, I have quite a big book stack there behind me. But this is what I'm just rereading now. I actually talked about this book on Friday with one of my coaching traders that I'm coaching, and this is The Mountain Is You. It's all about self-sabotage, and it's a really good book. And I love this one here, like a quote: "In the end, it's not the mountain that you must master, but yourself." So in the end, it's not so much trading strategy that you have to master, but it is yourself. And I love this. And so basically, this book, really easy to read. Um, Great book. Honestly, I could reread it again, again, and again. And it just has these golden little things. And And yeah, like even this one here, I'm going to read another quick quote. Starting quantifying your days by how many healthy, positive things you accomplished, and you will see how quickly you began to make progress. So again, importance of focusing on the positive things, focusing on, how well did you do? Did you journal? Did you calm down before you enter the trade? And all these positive things, when you say them, it just becomes so much easier to trade, and you see that you master yourself. You need to really be aware of who you are. So yeah, that's definitely one of the books, but there are quite a lot. I think the also for the traders, so many will go by like trading books, but I think it's not so much the trading books you need, so it's like self-development. So make sure, like, Atomic Habits, be 1% better every day, right? So that's what Atomic Habits by James Clear, I think. James Clear. Yeah, Atomic Habits. Really, really good book, because that's something that you learn for yourself. And like we already spoke about it in here, that trading is not just, knowing your strategy. Of course, it is big part, but also like when you know yourself, when you know how to control your emotions, when you know how to switch them off, then it's going to be so much easier to trade, right? Um, and yeah, I think that's where we can finish. We've been talking for an hour, and it's been a great session for sure. And it's really, really good to be here and to talk about these things. And I'm excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to have yet another session here, and then Fridays are going to be our live trading rooms, where we're going to scalp, probably have some action. Let's see how we're gonna get along with that. But last Friday, you guys, my gold trade won. Okay, I
Yeah, it
hit the
was nicely
TP.
a good one.
Yeah, it was a good one. Right. Okay, guys. Well, you take care. Thank you so much, Baris, Rob. Thank you and Danny. Thank you for being here, and for all the others who didn't comment. Thank you so much, guys. It was lovely to talk about this. We will have more topics. And like I said, it's just important to talk about these things, because trading is not just trading. It's so much more. So hopefully with these topics, we'll be able to bring on some awareness, and we'll start to have like these, like the engine going for your mindset. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, well, thank you so much, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye bye, guys.